Hey people, I'm gonna be responding to some comments. This is gonna be like slightly unedited, low effort video because I wanna clear up some stuff they said, and a lot of people took issues with. Yeah, I collected all these random comments. I didn't include the names because I didn't want anyone to get harassed. Don't harass any of these people. I will kill you and I will poop on you. Yeah, okay. Let's get in the first comment. All right. Dude, I agreed with everything you said up until the Minecraft one. Minecraft isn't an RPG, it's a sandbox game. Your goal is not to kill the Ender Dragon and max out your gear. It's a personal goal you set for yourself. Everything you do in Minecraft is of your own volition. Alright, I'm just gonna not read the rest of it because I already read it. But my Minecraft point was probably the worst part of the video in my opinion. Cause like I definitely could have used a better example. Minecraft is a lot more open-ended than most games. My point there was mostly like my point was mostly that Minecraft should have more of a focus in its gameplay than just like there's just a bunch of random things that don't really connect. They should be more connected really through like some sort of system. My idea was mostly there should be like some way for there should be like bases that you can raid that are across the world owned by enemies and and that's how you can get some of your extra loot because base raiding is probably one of the strong suits of Minecraft because there's essentially infinite ways to enter this base. You could like mine through the side and make a selfie entrance, or you could go through the normal entrance and like tear through the mobs, or you could build up here to the top and go come in from the top. There's essentially infinite ways to get into a base. This is something that Minecraft doesn't really utilize, and I think it would benefit a lot from it. The other thing I think Minecraft would really benefit from is focus on like horde combat. It's like a similar thing where like okay, just imagine these are all like zombies or like random enemies. So like if you are like in the middle of a huge horde of enemies, you essentially have infinite solutions to deal with all those threats. You could place like TNT. Depending on like what you have on you, you could place like TNT to blow a bunch of them up. If there's like a creeper here, you like light the creeper on fire and then explodes a bunch of the enemies. There's usually a lot of explosions. You could just deal with them normally by just smacking them around with your axe. You could use your shield to do something similar with a creeper. It's essentially or you could just build up too and just shoot down with a bow. There's infinite solutions, but this isn't like super utilized all the time. Yeah, that was mostly my point of Minecraft. I think a better example for this would probably be Terraria, because like Terraria is a lot more progression based. I uh I think I would be more proud of the point if I brought up Terraria instead. Like it's not a bad game. It's just very progression oriented and like you don't have much to do after it ends. So yeah, that's that comment. Okay. Not all of these are like hate comments necessarily. They're more like random comments of like that I want to like. Some of them are hate comments. Some of them are like things I want to just talk about because I didn't bring them up in the video. Danny's World backbone is the art direction. I genuinely believe Danny's World was supposed to be a web series instead of a game, because of the whole scenario and art direction is pretty neat, but it's generally hard to implement such a concept in an actual game. I wholeheartedly agree with this because I feel like the developers of Danny's World would be a lot better at like. I feel like they just flow. I feel like the developers of Danny's World would just be like in a lot better situation if if they had just used the characters to make a web series instead, like this comment mentioned, because then like they could just focus on making the characters likable and like doing a story. But the gameplay kind of gets away with in the way of that when it's a game, which a lot of the fandom doesn't really like the fact that there's not a lot of lore. So yeah, I'm not gonna touch on this too much because I'm not super versed on the art direction side of Danny's World. I just don't really care that much personally because I'm not a super huge of an art person. I'm just very form over function. Okay. For me personally, I played a Danny's World clone called Dolly's Factory, which I'd describe as Danny's World but nicer, faster, and more intense. Heavy quotes on the intense. The machines are far fewer when you start and take a. Ugh, I am shivering for no reason right now. Take a whole less time to complete. The average of which I've boiled down to 19 to 25 seconds or so. Actually, that actually sounds pretty good. I'm not even. I forgot about that. That actually does sound pretty good. Seconds or so, which many things allowing you to do them even faster and even instantly. The monsters chase you quite often as they actually patrol around the machines, and the speed at which they do it is pretty decently fast. Granted, players are so it feels much more engaging when the chases actually feel like chases. I haven't played Dolly's Factory yet. I want to make like a video later where I like just go over a bunch of Dandy and Delver likes just to like see if I can just to, like point out the flaws in them, because I saw a lot of people talking about other games similar to Danny's World, which I don't really think there's been a good one that has released yet. I saw one that Vibing Leaf is working on. I love Vibing Leaf. I really want that to be good. I don't have complete faith in it because the genre isn't that good, but they have more than two active abilities on at least one of the characters, so I'm gonna put my trust in them, and I think they might make a good game. Not like super in-depth experience, but I think it will be more horror focused, which I think is nice. I'll definitely try it out, and like, yeah, I might like write a review on it or something. I really hope it's good. Anyways, Dolly's Factory. Um, I haven't played it just because the art style makes me really uncomfortable. I don't know why. It just gives off like a DeviantArt sort of vibe, and I don't know. It's just something that I don't really want to touch exactly. I will touch it for like if I have to do it for a video. I've seen the gameplay. It doesn't look that egregious. There's no like permalooping, I'd hope. I think. I don't know. Let's move on to the next one. I just kind of maybe expect a video, maybe not. I don't know. Distracting was never meant to be a role. People are depending on so much to design floor when you five somehow. Distracting. It's distracting. It never was meant to be a role, but like it it kind of over time just like overtook the game, just because like the developers kind of just have been leaning more and more into it over time. Like they added a sticker that says "I'll distract." That's basically them endorsing it as a strategy. I don't think this excuse, like it never being meant to be a role, I don't think this excuse really works anymore. Just because the developer has basically balanced the game around it now. Anyways, next one. The thing about Danny's World is no classes. Game isn't preventing you from distracting with some random low stealth tune just because you don't have high speed, nor does it prevent you from extracting with a tune that has low extraction. I don't think this first part is inherently a problem. I think the stats should be there to like nudge you into a specific playstyle, but like they shouldn't lock you off from playing a specific way, because I just feel like that freedom just should still be there. And this is the problem, since you have all these tunes which ultimately come down to their stat spread and abilities to decide how you use them, or if you use them at all. It gets incredibly boring when most tunes aren't even viable just because they're just suck or unfun to play when or brainlessly extracting machines or just looping. This is all there is to do. I agree with that, yeah. The sometimes they don't even come down to their abilities, because their abilities are essentially just extra stats at some points, like Eclipse and I'm trying to think of another. Oh yeah, Eclipse and Boxen are two of the biggest examples, because both of their abilities are just basically extra stats with conditionally. So I agree with this comment. That is definitely an issue, but I feel like there should still be some freedom to like be able to take up different roles, like depending on like you should still be like discouraged from doing certain things, like if you have low extraction, that should discourage you from staying on machines and like encourage you to like do another task that isn't distracting. I'm not using distracting as an example because that's obviously very poorly designed, as I got into in my video. But yeah, I agree. I don't have much else to say here. All right, please add a sound warning at the start. Okay, yeah. Uh, I am really sorry for that. That was a that was a bit I had with my friends, and I didn't expect the video to blow up. So like, yeah, that was a huge mistake. Sorry. I'll definitely like not yell into my mic going forward. Because like now I have an actual audience, and I don't want to. Oh fuck. Uh, I don't want to like I don't want to murder their ears anymore. So yeah. Sorry. I don't think Danny's World qualifies as a roguelite, much even less a roguelike. Oh wait, even less a roguelike. Roguelike means from zero every runs, trinkets persist roguelike. All runs are the same. Your character changes the most. That barely changes anything. Roguelites are highly replayable. You've played. Okay. I think Danny's World does count as a roguelike, but like a bad roguelike. You can it just like I don't know how to describe it. I've always think of it I've always thought of it as a roguelike just because of just because of how it works. I just think of it as a bad roguelike cuz like it's just poorly made roguelike. I don't know how to describe it. I'm sorry if some of these answers are like very like me just saying like, I don't know. Because I'm doing the scriptless. I just wanted to talk. I just wanted to yap. All right. Don't know why Death Spelunking caught a stray here, but if all three of those games are bad, you can always check out Baldi's Basics Plus. It's quite literally the same genre, and personally, I feel like the game does it the best. I think Baldi's Basics Plus is one of the best examples of a Delver-like. I haven't played it yet, but from what I know of like the other Baldi's Basics games, they're all pretty well designed. Like the way you interact with enemies is all fairly unique. The only thing the main reason I wouldn't really call it exactly a Delver like is because there's one because the way it works is there's one big enemy that is able to kill you, and all the other enemies are just like hindrances, basically. Kind of like Springtrap in FNAF 3 with the Phantoms. Uh, I I don't know if I'll get into the death spelunking thing in like another video because I have a lot to say about how poorly designed it is. All right. I agree with the fact. Oh, geez, this is a three-parter. Hold on. Um. Okay, hold on. I need to skim this. You can pause and read it. I do not want to read all this. I don't have the breath. Okay, yeah. This is a TLDR. This one here is about how the distracting is basically mostly exists because the maps are so overstuffed and like cramped, and I 100% agree with that. The maps are definitely a huge. The map's size is definitely a huge issue in Danny's world, because like the twisted count keeps increasing as you go further and further, but the map size doesn't. It's most of the same maps can still appear in the late game. I've seen one of my friends complaining about that a lot. High strum, hee hee. Um, the issue with that, it just makes it so that you basically can't like get twisteds off you effectively. Also, the another issue like related to that is the tight spaces in maps. There's some specific spots in maps where if there's a twisted on one side and on the other side, you're basically guaranteed a death just because you have no room to be able to maneuver around them. That's kind of why in my game, ooh, shameless plug, ooh, we have like an OSHA rule where like every gap in the map has to be 6 tiles wide, or somehow or some other workaround, just so that you're able to like juke around wickeds. Um, yeah, and distracting is definitely a band aid. Okay, game has a core issue. Uh, yeah, I agree. I agree with this here. There should definitely be some sort of a goal, like or decision, or like there should be some sort of goal for the game. Getting there's no like it doesn't really incentivize you to get to high floors other than just like, "Ugh, you get bigger stat and can brag to people. Like if this is why the game probably needs some sort of ending around like floor 20ish or higher, because a lot of people don't have the time to commit to like a huge long run to like floor 100. It'd be easier for them to just hop into a new run and just like just play and just get to the end. A lot of people would just prefer that. It just makes the game a lot more accessible if there's just a clear defined goal at the end of the run. Um, yeah. I'm sorry if I'm misreading any into I'm sorry if I'm reading into these any of his comments wrong because uh comment down below if I read into your comment wrong. Okay, as for uh yeah, okay, the take issue with two solutions I offered. I didn't say to add two abilities specifically. I said 3 to 5, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if I specified that, but it should be at least two or higher. Just I think that would just like allow for them to have more like just have more specifically tailored play styles. Like with one or two abilities, you can't really like do that much outside of like, oh, they get like a 10% boost to speed when a machine is completed, for example. Like that doesn't really do anything. Like what are you going to do after what are you going to do if that's speed? Just run faster? I guess. Um uh I also the thing with uh also the thing with like mains having extra ability, I don't really think they should do that. I think mains as like a class should like just not exist. Like the thing with two giving them 2 hearts in return for an extra ability, that's like kind of dumb. Instead it should be like use 2 hearts to like nerf powerful playstyles. Like for example, a healer like Sprout, yeah, he would need that sort of nerf. Just because having a healer like that, they should have some sort of down. They should have some sort of downside. I don't know if I'm making sense. Bleh. Um, yeah. So my entire thing with V and Brightney here, I don't like either of them. They kind of suck like as characters just because of their actives. Like I called them press. I don't actually even know if Brightney is has an active because I haven't played her. Actually, let me check real quick. Wrong tab. Wrong tab. Um, yeah, it is an active. So the reason I don't like their actives is because like they're that kind of active that I call press F to win, where basically you there's no like strategic advantage to like save your ability. You can just you could in theory just spam F the entire time and it wouldn't really change much. Yeah, that's a I kind of consider that for like a that's basically a thing with like V, Brightney, and Gigi. I don't know any other examples, but that's an issue. That's a ability type I take a huge problem with, just because like it wouldn't be much different if that ability was a passive instead. Like yeah, this is yeah. I'm sorry if I'm like skipping over stuff. I don't want to read over all of it again because I already left responses to most of these. Um, yeah. Uh, wait, this is my response. Oh, hey, pause if you want to read the responses. uh, One problem. It's not a roguelite, nor meant to be one. It's a survival game. You're actively comparing it to games it's not supposed to be like. It's not a shooter game, so synergies is not its thing. It's not a roguelike. It is a survival game. Each character has a fan, so even taking one out is enough to make an uprising. One revamp is literally making an outrage. It is an alpha. It is bound to have bugs. The gameplay loop is the reason why it's still alive on Roblox. Every Roblox game relies on a gameplay loop. Most of its problem derives of how Roblox work. Yes, the coding isn't the best, but it is a passion project. The work doesn't need to be perfect. Nothing is. Okay, let me break this down line by line. One problem, it's not a roguelike, nor meant to be one. It's a survival game. It is a roguelike because roguelikes are games where you go through you go through oh my what? So it definitely is a roguelike, and it's also a survival game. It's a survival roguelike. Like, for example, Lethal Company, that's a survival roguelike. If you compare Lethal Company and Danny's World, their core loop is very similar. Why did I open Steam? Okay. Hi, Steam. Why did I open Steam? I think I was just going to go with like the Lethal Company page, but whatever. Yeah. It's both a survival game and a roguelike. It can be two genres at the same time. You shoot a game. Synergies is not its thing. Yeah, what do you mean synergies is not its thing? There's nothing stopping the game from having like character specific synergies. The like combining them together. Like it already has synergies in the game, like Cosmo and Sprout, Cosmo and Ginger, uh, Bassie and Coco, which I brought up. There was another one that someone mentioned, but I completely forgot about. I'm sorry if you were the person who mentioned that. Solar system kiting that exists. Like every character doesn't need to have a synergy and doesn't need to work with the team. That's why survivalists exist. But like characters can still like if a character has depth, then that character is should be able to like interact with other characters in unique ways, I guess. It's each character has a fans, and even taking one out is enough to make a uprising. Yeah, I know that. That's why I specified that the devs weren't probably going to make those changes. I don't expect the devs to make those changes at all. Uh, and I don't know what this thing about the gameplay loop is. Like, yeah, I know every game ever has a gameplay loop. I know that. That's I what I'm confused. Anyways, anti Papo, yes, I'm evil Papo. I give a valid criticism and play games for longer than 12 minutes. Yeah, I feel that Spy is more of a distractor since the entire point of Spy is disrupting the backline and making enemies need to constantly think about you to not get stabbed and see through disguises, making them less focused on the front line. Very good point here. I can definitely agree with this. I didn't I didn't bring up Spy because I want to do three characters versus three characters, and the defense and I didn't want to and I wanted to take them all from the same class. And defense class, in my opinion, was the closest to like what the distractor role is supposed to be. Like mine is being poorly designed, obviously, but like the I didn't want to use the support class because that's not very close to it. I don't know. I just wanted one class compared to another class, basically. Um, yeah, that's why I didn't bring up the spy. But very good point. Okay, so like game aside, genuine question. When you talked about Cookie Run for a second, you were referring to Kingdom, right? I love the franchise, but I absolutely despise Kingdom specifically for what is. Ugh. oh man, I'm pregnant. Like how I need to ask like this if you were talking about the franchise or the game specifically. Yes, I was specifically referring to Cookie Run Kingdom. Cookie Run Kingdom is like, from what I know, it's a very scummy game. I haven't actually played it. All I know is that it's basically just a city builder that begs you for money every like 5 seconds, and like the actual like, and outside of the city building, there's like an RPG mode where you just occasionally press a button. That's all I know. That's all I know about it. I don't know anything about like the other games. Oven Break would sounds fun in theory. People have said that like it like has smaller gotcha mechanics, so I'm inclined to believe them. So yeah. My personal main issue of the game is barely any difference between the Twisteds. Other than a select few, they all kind of do the same thing, chase you around. Okay, sorry if I'm skipping over a bit of the sorry if I'm skipping over a bit. I don't want to read it all out. My throat's a bit dry. I agree with this. I didn't bring it up because I feel like it's not that big of an issue. Like the issues around it are much larger, but this is still an issue with the game. The Twisted should have some sort of variety. Even the common should be at least able to do like one unique have like one unique ability. Like they could like I couldn't give any like suggestions right now. I'm mentally dead. I'm pregnant. I'll give my unneeded hint. Basically, all the problems of Danny's World and similar games come from a lack of checkpoints. Like the idea that as soon as you die, you can't continue a run forces developers to make game easier than it's supposed to, kills team play, forces players to use boring strats, etc. It is a problem with a lot of good games. I feel like this isn't really an issue because Danny's World is a roguelike. Roguelikes are supposed to have permadeath. Like when you die, you just die. You're dead. Like the I feel like that you should be punished for dying. Uh, like I feel there should there should definitely be more of a I feel like team play for and using boring strats. I feel like that's more of an issue with like the strats, the boring strats and safe strats that exist. Because players, if they have access to a strat that makes the game infinitely easier, they will use that no matter what. That is like a law of game design. That's why distracting is such a big issue. Like you can't just like ignore it if you're playing the game. People will use distracting no matter what. Yeah, this is kind of my take on that. I think the game needs wider maps and twisteds that are based on the extractors, and most tunes either need a rework or just need to be deleted. Like I don't see any play Razzle and Dazzle or Brusha. They just need to. They just seem to like filler in the roster rather than playable characters. I agree. Yes, a lot of the characters are definitely filler. Like especially a lot of the quote unquote early game characters. I'm doing big air quotes right now. Yeah, the early game characters are very just nothing. Like Finn, what is his play style? He just kind of goes faster sometimes. That's his entire thing. All right. Uh, yeah. Also, yeah, I agree that they definitely need wider maps just because so that you don't get pincered all the time. Yeah, sorry if I'm making a lot of weird noises. I'm just like throat dry as I mentioned previously. Quill is a good owner, bad developer. Literally, I don't know if that's spelled right. She listens to the community so much that she adds the most horrible things that the community says. She just wants to add new tunes and twisteds and trinkets just because she thinks that will fix the game and make it less boring. Yes, 100%. She adds most of the stuff that the community just suggests. A lot of the stuff that she's adding as of recently isn't just like isn't really new ideas. They're like things that the community is just begging her to add. Like the entire reason distracting is so here just because the community hasn't like spoken up and said, it sucks, pregnant, yeah. I don't have much more to say. Sorry. Too much variety, but it also affects the story, including the human employees, the founders, Barnaby, Mr. and Mrs. Holloway, Black Jr., and the 9 background children. There are 61 characters in the game, yet most of them are so shallow. At least 6 characters in the game have the overworks themselves trying to help others trope this game loves to do. Well, can we pick a different trope? The only criticism people have of the writing of this game is more lore. That's the only thing wrong with the writing of the game. Most of Eclipse dialogue has due for being animal-like. Oh no, we can't have the character who fears getting replaced talk to the replacement of another character. Give Eclipse 7 more interactions. Who's the point is? Who's the point is? Haha, Wolftoon now. Yeah, I can agree. The thing with the writing is just like there isn't. I can't really comment on the writing. I'm also a terrible writer. All the writing for my game is done by Sleepy. Hi Sleepy, hi Sleepy, hi Sleepy. Yeah. I can't comment on that. Sorry, I'm not knowledgeable in that. I don't know why I used to play this game until I found something better. Something evil will happen. I haven't heard anyone really talk about something evil will happen, but it's basically natural survival on servers. I absolutely used to sweat this game. I had almost every tune and all mains except for Vasti until I got bored of it suddenly. Are people still interested in this game? It's not even that good. Something evil will happen is one of the like top 5 games on Roblox for me. It's just really fun. I don't have much to say about it. It's just fun. I can't really like criticize it that much. It's just fun. You can just kill your friends. I got a lot of good clips from it. It's very clip farmable. It's very funny. I like it. It's good. Stuff. There's one thing with distracting stealth. If someone has less stealth than you, they will get targeted instantly. Also, yeah, I know that. The recent update just made the game harder. And now the max amount of twisteds in a floor is 8, and most of the time everyone will get in your way. I say this as a personal experience. You don't know how many times someone got in my way and got me or someone else hit. Yeah. What is your point? Research is not just about luck, but also about how far you can go. The further you go, the higher the probability of a certain twist appearing. And the further you advance, the more twists will appear on a sword. Simple and good teamwork makes it easier. So the issue with that is like, at a certain, like, a lot of people just don't have the time to like commit, like, a lot of people just can't commit like hours at a time to a run. I could only make it to like floor 20 most of the time with my friends just because I didn't want to put I didn't want to put 5 hours into the game every day. Like, it's just like, yeah, you just need a lot. It's not about how far you can go. It's more about just how committed you are to the game. So like, which isn't really like that reasonable in my opinion. Okay, Minecraft point. We're ignoring that because I already addressed that. Lack of playtesting. Yeah, I want to see your game see how well balanced it is because there should be at least 2 or 3 broken mechanics. Because let me tell you, we are not robots. People makes mistakes, and Quell spelled wrong. Does here the community needs some fixes? Well, a lot of them. But they are making an effort to improve the game, and due to the situation with the game's co-director and everything that it entailed, we have a very long way of making an improvement that changes the core of the game. Okay, but like, it took them. They haven't really done anything, like to the core loop, for an entire year. They haven't done anything besides just add more on top of it, which is making the game worse because of bloat. So like literally like look at the Twisted Coal fiasco, the thing with request last like about like Christmas event, the request. You're like it was super hard for everyone because there's so many twisteds in the game that like the chances of Twisted Coal have gotten super low, especially since she's a rare. So the more characters you add the game, the worse the research gets, essentially. So they're just making the game actively worse and harder and like everything. And the 8 twisted thing, that like just makes it even worse for like solo runs because you can't distract them all. You have to deal with like 8 twisters like going like woo 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 all over the map. Also, haha, I messed up your comment. Haha, your comment sucks. Haha, haha. Yeah. You even know what you're talking about. Danny's World is a mascot horror game based stealth survival game. Does Danny's World have permadeath? Like, be honest, how the hell is Danny's World a roguelike game when you can literally ask anyone and they will tell you that when they think of a roguelike games, they think of rooms of enemy you can kill that upgrades to help you easily kill more enemies? What? I don't think you know what a rogue. I don't think you know what a roguelike is. Calling Danny's World a roguelike is like calling Blox Fruits a social and trading game just because you can trade and talk to people in it. Just shut up, dude. I've never seen Danny's World be called a roguelike game, and it's been playing and actively part of the community since March of last year. So how about you actually play the game instead of doing run run? I've played the game for 2 years. Hold on, let me pull this shit up. Let me pull up the first video I made on Danny's World. Playlists. Danny's World Brain Rot.
Corner.
Video I made November 3rd, 2024. That's how long I've been playing this game. So you can't really say that. I don't think they watched the full video anyways, so Danny's World is not a Daylight inspired game that goes on infinitely till you die. That doesn't make it a roguelike. Can Danny's World fans decide on what this game was inspired by? A lot of them like say, it's inspired by Minus Elevation, but the old dev really liked Minus Elevation, but and also it's inspired by Dead by Daylight. They can't decide. The worst thing about Danny's World is lack of story foundation, and the lore is just not well explained enough, and I think is why the gameplay sucks to make because you have no story foundation. I don't mean that Blush Crunch should make and release the Danny files, but having a foundation or a story that is thoroughly explained, even if released to public, is a good foundation to start making the gameplay. Yeah. I don't really remember why I put this in here, because it's another thing that I can't really comment on, because story stuff. But yeah, I can agree with this comment. Good job, A+. You get an A+. That is a terrible A+. Hold on. A+. There. Problem with Danny's World is it has the same problem so many Roblox games have. They play too fucking safe. They're using the fuck word. Ooh. I'm gonna censor that. Safe with updates. They see that a cycle of minimum updates engage players and then do it all over. The same example with Forsaken, for example. All their updates are like balance change, dev skins, bandage skins, survivors, and killers that take 300 months to release. Instead of releasing something that diversifies the game more like in story mode or some secret places like Bear Alpha does to reveal more of the lore of the Roblox game. Roblox games nowadays focus purely on the competitive dynamic instead of trying to make legacy and story to the game. I have an opinion that like some games, they need to stop updating at some point. Like Forsaken, it was almost perfect right before they released Noli. And then they just kept enshittifying it further and further by adding stuff like event currency and Nosferatu, who is the worst, who's an abomination to game design. I want to kill Nosferatu. I fucking hate Nosferatu. Discard changes. I'd say around here I get the problem with Roblox and criticism like Frost's sake. They just keep throwing out skins instead of just finishing up Noli or other characters. But back to Danny's. The main problem is community because they're so flip-floppy of changes like the increase the twisted spawn, which makes one side happy while the other side unhappy. There is some times no winning at all times. Some say that the game should be harder while others not, and no one could agree on it. Not saying this exempts any criticism. It's just something that tends to poke out when you see it otherwise. I completely understand with what the vid is saying. Yeah, I can agree, but I don't really think this is really the community's fault. Any community is going to be like divided on subjects. I think this is more. I think basically all of the issues of the game are just to like blame on the developers. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. Calling Minecraft progression slop as if there isn't a whole building. Oh, I already explained this. Why did I put so many about the Minecraft issue? There was just a lot of comments about the Minecraft issue. I explained it earlier, and I don't need to really explain it again. Also, of course, you think your game is the only good one. I don't think my game is the only good one. I literally brought up like multiple other games that I think are good. I don't think you watched the video. Not mentioning trinkets was a travesty. Okay, yeah. I hate how trinkets are designed in this game. I'm not even gonna read the rest of the comment. I just wanted to yap about trinkets. Trinkets should not just be stat boosts. That's just boring as shit. That's just asking them to like. That's just asking for them to be like meta. They should each like provide like some sort of gameplay advantage. Not like gameplay advantage, but like they should at least provide a downside most of the time and like an upside. The downside shouldn't just be wasting a slot cuz like then you can just like use a better trinket. I don't know. It's just yeah. Uh yeah, I ran out of comments. That's it.